It's been a very interesting 2023 season, and one of the big names that I think has made a big dent is Sha'carri Richardson. At the World Track and Field Championships, Richardson managed to break the championship record at 10.65 seconds, and she's certainly been one of the most popular names, not just in athletics this year, but in the entire sporting realm. With amazing performances on the track, she's certainly garnered the attention of many around the world, but she's also known to be quite interesting off the track, and she's now easily one of the most outspoken athletes in the sport of athletics. I remember a few very interesting moments this season, where Sha'carri Richardson basically called out the media, saying that they don't report fairly, and even one moment she called out Let's Run, saying that she doesn't like to read their website because she thinks that they're biased. Now, I'm honestly not sure if she has exact details behind these claims, but either way, you have to admit, Sha'carri Richardson is not afraid to say exactly what she's thinking, whether it be she's confident, or she's upset, or she's struggling, whatever. She is certainly forward with her thoughts, and recently she has returned into the news with a very interesting update surrounding doping and the doping requirements. About a week ago, she took to Twitter saying that she was frustrated given that she has to update her whereabouts in a brand new way. Now, if you're not familiar, whereabouts and whereabouts failures are very, very important requirements for an athlete to be able to compete in the sport of track and field. If you're not available for a test and don't give proper notice about where you're physically going to be, then you can be charged with what's called a whereabouts failure, and if you have 3 of these within a 12-month period, well, you're not allowed to compete on the world stage. This certainly makes updating your physical placement very important and crucial for competing. However, in a very abrupt way, it appears as though athletes have to update their information on a brand new interface, and this has left many wondering exactly why this happened, and this has also left many wondering, including Sha'carri Richardson, why this is happening going into an Olympic season. In Sha'carri's Twitter update here, she talked about how she wanted to advocate for the athletes and make sure that they don't miss this requirement.
And I'm going to definitely continue to be an advocate. But by December 15th, all USA athletes have to update their whereabouts into a new program. And this program basically has just been thrown upon us. Basically, I just feel like it's definitely not in the best interest for the athlete. And going into this Olympic year is just very, very crucial that nothing unnecessary is added onto our plates. And these changes that are thrown upon us are not explained. They're just thrown upon us, and nobody's explaining anything.
Now, this needed to be done by December 15th, and I'm not entirely sure how much time the athletes had to update their whereabouts placements, but this is only for the first quarter of 2024. And for the following quarters, they'll need to update their expected location accordingly. Now, many athletes will tell you, this can be a little bit confusing, especially when there's a brand new interface. However, there might not be a single more important thing to do, outside of actual performances, than updating your whereabouts placements accordingly. Now, unfortunately, not updating accordingly can lead to many people being suspended for years. We saw this exact same thing happen with Christian Coleman a few years ago, and even though he never tested positive, a whereabouts failure is a whereabouts failure, and it can put you in a suspension for track and field. Sha'carri Richardson's frustration here has been echoed by a few other athletes, and I think that she does have a good point. And it's also important to mention that athletes need to update their placements, not just in the new interface, but the previous one, meaning that they have double the work to do moving into next season. It really is interesting how much athletes really do have to go through in order to compete, but it is also very, very important given how pervasive cheating has become over the previous decade. And now I would love to hear from you on this. What do you think about this new update? What do you think about the fact that Sha'carri Richardson is very much against this new placement? And do you think this really affects the athletes that much moving into the Olympic season? Thanks for watching, everyone. And as always, until next time.